Hey guys. So sorry about that. You know, had to start the video over or not over. This is just gonna be part 2, I guess. So yeah, college football recap. South Florida loses 38-120 to Florida. Florida, I think it's going to be a long rebuild for Billy Napier. I think that first game was definitely a mirage for sure, and I think it's going to be very difficult for them to have a good year this year. Clemson 48-20 over Louisiana Tech. Clemson only wins by 20. Louisiana Tech covers 33.5. DJ Ukulele sucks. Clemson is not a playoff team. That's the recap I have for you, fellas. That's the recap. And just PSA, spoiler alert, Wake Forest is beating them this week. Wake Forest will beat Clemson. Heard it here first. Yep. Montana State at Oregon State. Oregon State 68-28 over Montana State. Big win for Oregon State. Texas covers at home against UTSA. Not much to recap there. Big one for Texas. I gotta just recap this one. 17-9 A&M over Miami, Florida. I don't miss Josh Gaddis. I mean, Miami's offense is terrible this year. Van Dyke, a really disappointing campaign for the Hurricanes this year. Bitterly disappointing. Big win for A&M at home. USC 45, Fresno 17. I was wrong about this one. I did not think SC would cover. But goddamn is SC a really good football team this year. Big win for them. Caleb Williams is an absolute beast. North Dakota State at Arizona 31-28. Arizona wins. Arizona's 2-1. Eastern Michigan at Arizona State. Eastern wins 30-21. Wow, guys, what a game. Arizona State moves on from Herm Edwards. I don't know if you saw the video, but I think Herm Edwards may have just got fired on the field. I saw him, the video after the game. Some guy whispered something in his ear. And I just think that that's what happened. He got fired there. So yeah, that's the recap. First we're gonna do overreactions. Couple overreactions for CFB. And then we'll do yeah, then we'll move on to NFL. I'm sorry if I've been weird tonight, guys. Have a lot of mannerisms, quirks, but as long as you guys subscribe and understand that, that would mean the world to me. So let's start with some overreactions from the sporting news. Let's see. First one, or this is overreaction. Is this an overreaction? Michigan and Georgia will meet in the national championship. Not ready to buy in yet to Michigan, to my boys yet, just because we haven't played anyone. I don't think we'll make the national championship. I don't think we'll beat Ohio State. And I don't know who will play in the first round of the playoffs. But I don't know, man. I don't think our O-line is good enough this year to take us to the national championship. It's really good, but I don't think it's elite like it was last year. And again, I'm reading how it says no two teams have been more dominant, but we haven't played anyone yet. I mean, do I think there's a chance? Yeah, I do. But then again, haven't played anyone yet, so not ready to buy in yet. Here's what I'll say. Michigan is an 11-win football team this year. Okay? Want me to tell you if Michigan's elite this year? I'll tell you after the Ohio State game. Because I don't really think our first elite test is till November 26th in Columbus. I think Penn State's a mad team. don't really trust James Franklin. I think he's a terrible coach. I'm not going to buy in after Auburn because Auburn's a bad team. Brian Harson's going to be fired after this year. Michigan State always plays us tough. I mean, it's Michigan State. They always get up for that game. Always come onto the field with more of an advantage emotionally than us. They care about that game more. But I still think we can beat Michigan State because their secondary sucks. But the Ohio State game will be the deal teller for me, or the true tester on whether or not I think Michigan is a national championship caliber team. Urban Meyer is the next head coach in Nebraska. No, I don't think they'd go near Urban. I really don't think that, I don't think it'll be Urban. I really don't. Now, would it shock me if it was? No. Nebraska is a really desperate bunch right now. And if there's one man who can save Nebraska football, it's Urban Meyer. But I don't think he'll go there. I think it'd be a bad look for Nebraska. Next one, Brian Harsin is done at Auburn. I 100% agree with this. He will be fired after the season, or maybe even mid-season. But he is a terrible head football coach. If Auburn loses to Missouri this week, he will be shown the door on Sunday or Monday. But man, oh man, Auburn's terrible, and this is exactly why I'm not buying into Penn State, because I don't think Penn State has played anyone yet. Notre Dame won't make a bowl game. Jeez. Overreaction. I still think they'll get in. I think Freeman will at least get them 6 wins. I mean, he'll turn it around one way or another and at least get it to 6 wins. They're obviously not a playoff contender or a New Year's Six bowl contender, but I do think they still will sneak into a bowl game. Ole Miss has the best backfield in the nation. Overreaction. I'd still take ours all day with Corman Edwards over Ole Miss's. I'd still take ours. Get your Apple Cup tickets now. Washington State will be a thriller. Washington will win that game by 20. I don't think much of Wazoo this year. And they're talking about, Washington State beat Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin's a great team this year either. I still think Washington will win that game by 20. Kentucky's a football school. Overreaction. Mark Stoops has done a very good job at Kentucky. But to call it a football school, I'm definitely not ready to go there just quite yet. Anyway, let's move on to the NFL. Let's start off. Chiefs beating the Chargers 27-24. Big win for KC, 2-0. Chargers. Man, I hope Herbert's okay. Herbert's just a very special football player and a very great future in front of him. Big one for KC. 2-0. My beloved Detroit Lions, 36 to Washington Commanders, 27. How about them Lions, baby? A huge win at home. A huge win for Dan Campbell. Totally buying in. Look, man, I believe. Woo! Huge win. Goff looked very good. St. Brown was phenomenal. Defensive line, great first half. Kind of slowed down the second half, but they're young. Expect a lot of growing pains in that regard. Look, man, defensive line consistency is a huge thing. Gotta be a little more consistent, but then again, they're young, growing pains. but the offense was spectacular. The offensive line without Ragnow and Jackson, A-plus performance. This offensive line might be top 5 in the NFL this year. This team, it starts with building an offensive line. And I hate Bob Quinn, but I'm going to give Bob Quinn credit on one thing here. He gave us a goddamn good O-line with Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker. I mean, Frank Ragnow is a top 10 center in this league. Penny Sewell, great guard. Man, I love this team. Great win at home. Offense looked alive. And hey, look, everyone's 1-1 in the NFC North. Going up to Minnesota will be a big task. I will talk about that game in this week's preview video. Jets 31, Browns 30. Wow, what a great game. Joe Flacco leads a beautiful comeback for the New York Jets. 31-30. Big road win for the Jets. I know I give the Jets a lot of shit because they're the Jets and they suck as a franchise. But huge win on the road for them. Cleveland, I don't know what's wrong with them. Still 1-1. Bucks 20, Saints 10. Buccaneers, big road win. Look, man, I know the Saints are not as good this year, but Tampa has always struggled with New Orleans, especially in the regular season. Brady's still throwing balls out here at 45, just dropping them in. He's incredible. He's the best quarterback of all time. I don't ever want to hear anyone dispute that because it's not even close. Yeah, but the Saints need to work on their quarterback situation because Jameis is not a long-term solution. Don't kid yourself, people. Giants 19-16 over Panthers at home. Speaking of coaches who could get fired, Matt Rule. Carolina 0-2, just absolutely inexcusable. Matt Rule will be fired at the end of this year. I mean, this experiment in Carolina just has not worked out, and I don't think it will in the future. I just don't see much of Matt Rule having a future of anything whatsoever in the NFL. Giants 2-0. I still think the Giants are a fraudulent 2-0 team, but we'll see. Patriots 17-14 over Pittsburgh. Big win for New England on the road. I mean, they needed that win, man. Belichick's never started 0-2. I think Mac Jones has a shot to be a really good QB in this league. Pittsburgh's quarterback situation, a mess. Trubisky not long-term. Missing T.J. Watt really kills that defense. Big win for the Pats, though. Jags 24, Colts nothing. Holy shit, does Indianapolis with Matt Ryan look absolutely terrible. I mean, poor Indy, man. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's career is being wasted right now by that pitiful offense they got. Jacksonville 24. I think the Jaguars could win the AFC South this year. No, I'm not joking. I think the AFC South is an absolute joke. I think Trevor Lawrence is a really good quarterback. Etienne, good running back. Etienne, James Robinson, very good 1-2 punch. It doesn't really get much better than that in this league. Dolphins 42, Ravens 38. Holy shit, was this the game of the year so far? Tua leads the Dolphins to a comeback. And look, man, I gave Tua a lot of shit this offseason. With all the crap he's taken from people like me, the doubters, so-called. Great game for him. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, 2 top 15 receivers in this league. Miami's offense looks really good. I can't wait for them to play Buffalo this week. I think that is going to be a fantastic football game. Baltimore collapses. I'm very curious about the Lamar era in Baltimore. I don't think it's gone according to plan. Rams 31, Falcons 27. Absolutely, Atlanta just sucks this year. They're going to get the number 1 draft pick. But the Rams first week, they gave up 31 at home to the Bills. Now, granted, the Bills are a really good football team. But to give up 27 at home to Atlanta is just inexcusable. And I'd be very worried if I was a Rams fan about that defense because first 2 weeks, So 27-7, Frisco over Seahawks. Big win for Frisco. Just a killer to lose Trey Lance for the year. But luckily they got experienced backup in Jimmy Garoppolo, who is still, I think he's an okay quarterback. I mean, but he's experienced, and that's big for San Fran. 20-17, Cowboys over the Bengals. Man, what a win for Dallas without Prescott. Since he did not upgrade that O-line issue in the offseason, Burrow is going to probably be dead by week 5. And when I mean dead, I mean he might get injured. He won't, actually die, guys, for people who don't know what I mean. But I just feel bad for him. He has no help. Since he 0-2, a very tough hole to climb off. 19-6 Broncos over Texans. The Broncos' new coach, I keep forgetting his name, but he might be one of the worst coaches in the league so far. I mean, to run a fucking tight end reverse on a long 3rd and 1, what are you doing? Terrible performance by Denver. This Russell Wilson era, a disaster so far to open up. I still think Denver will finish 4th in the AFC West because I think that division is stacked, and I don't think Denver's one of the top 3 teams. Arizona 29, Oakland, or Vegas 23. Guys, I don't think I can put into words how much Arizona needed this win. This was an absolute crucial win for the Cardinals. Saved Kingsbury's job. Makes Kyler Murray played very clutch in the end. Huge win on the road for the Cardinals. Absolutely needed it. Raiders 0-2. I don't know, man. Raiders and Broncos are going to be fighting for last place in that division. 27-10 Packers, Bears. Can they please... 27-10 Packers beat Bears. Can they please stop playing this game on prime time? Please. This is one of the most lopsided rivalries in recent memory. I mean, 27-10. The Bears are an absolute joke. I mean, Rodgers owns them. This isn't even a fun rivalry anymore. The Bears never win this game. And terrible offense for the Bears Sunday night. 41-7 Bills over Titans. Guys, Josh Allen's winning MVP this year. No team looks more complete in the NFL than Buffalo this year. Buffalo will win the AFC this year. Here, I said it. Thank you. Vikings lose 24-7 to the Eagles at Philly. Speaking of really good teams, Philly, a really good football team, makes my Lions loss to them look much better because Philly's a really good team. We went toe-to-toe with them, only lost by 3, but damn, bro, Kirk Cousins 2-10 in prime time. You know what? They should just play the Bears versus the Vikings in prime time as the who can suck more, Kirk Cousins or the Bears. I mean... I don't know, man, but Philly looking really good. Gonna run away with the East, probably. Now, let's do some NFL Week 2 overreactions. Before we start that, I just want to say about the Tigers' new GM hire. Absolutely love him. He came from San Francisco. He was Theo Epstein's right-hand man in Chicago, which gives me a lot of hope. This guy is young. He's got experience. For those who don't know, his name is Scott Harris. Very young. I think this guy, he said today in the press conference, he wants to create the Detroit Tigers way. I already love it. I hope Hinch is here for the long term, but if he decides to fire Hinch, I'm not going to question him. Some guys want their own manager. I think Scott Harris will do great things for our beloved Detroit Tigers. And... now, look, Chris Ilitch has one job. Step the fuck away and let Harris do his job. Open up the checkbook and let's roll, baby. Time to start winning here in the Motor City. For too long, we've sucked and suffered because of Al Avila's incompetence. But now, hopefully, those days are over. I still think it's a 5-year rebuild at least. So yeah, in that regard, not gonna automatically just throw this in is a slam dunk. The Tigers are gonna be good next year. It's not a slam dunk. I still think we'll be bad next year, but I really like Scott Harris a lot. So CBS Sports NFL overreactions. Overreaction or reality. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 10 receiver in the NFL right now. Reality. Amon-Ra St. Brown is an absolute fucking stud. I mean, this guy, I think a touchdown reception, at least one touchdown reception in his last 8 games. Set a new NFL record the other day. Here, I forgot what record he set. Sorry, guys, I didn't come prepared. Okay. With his 8 reception, can't find the record. He matches the Lions record for the longest TD streak. He has 8 games. He's caught at least 6 passes in the last 8 games. 8 catches in the last 8 games. At least 8 catches in the last 8 games, meaning he's caught at least 8 passes or more in his last 8 games. Okay, how can I explain it better? Amon-Ra St. Brown has gotten at least 8 catches in every single game in his last 8 games. So he's had 8 receptions every game for the last 8 games. He's had unreal, man, and he continues to just put the ball in the end zone. His 5th 8 and a touchdown. He's had a touchdown in like his last 6 games. Guys, I should have came more prepared, but guys, this guy's a fucking stud for us. I can't wait to see what else he does in the future with my beloved Detroit Lions. I'm very pleased with the way this is going. Can the Cowboys contend for the NFC East title? Overreaction. No one's catching Philly this year. I mean that's just reality. No one will catch Philly. Yeah, it's an overreaction. The Giants are NFC East contenders. Overreaction. No one's beating Philly, like I said. Frank Reed for the Colts is on the hot seat. Overreaction or reality? I'm gonna hold off and say overreaction right now. However, if this slide continues where they keep losing, they start like 0-5, 0-6, then absolutely. But I think right now, no, he's not. Garrett Wilson is the best wide receiver in this draft class. Overreaction. One good game ain't gonna cut it for me. I'm gonna go overreaction. The Saints need to rest Jameis Winston. Overreaction. Who are they gonna play? Who are they gonna play? Taysom Hill? No. Who is New Orleans? Who else are they gonna play? Look. They can't rest him. They dicked around in the draft. They should have taken a quarterback. But nope. Totally dicked around. Jameis is not a long-term solution, and Taysom Hill can't throw football. My grandma can throw a better spiral than Taysom Hill. The Patriots can't make the playoffs with their offensive approach. I disagree. I still think New England can make the playoffs. I think Belichick's a good coach. He'll adjust. The Rams are experiencing a Super Bowl hangover. Overreaction early on. It's 2 weeks in. I'm not going to freak out. However, they continue, like with the Colts, if they continue to play like this, I would have to say it's reality. The Niners are a Super Bowl contender with Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, they made it there last year with him, so yeah, why not? The reality. Nathaniel Hackett is out of his realm as a head coach with the Broncos. Reality. This dude fucking sucks, and it's week 2. Calling a tight end jet sweep on a long 3rd and 1 when you have Russell Wilson. What are you doing, man? And fucking up the clock week 1 in Seattle. Guys, this is just inexcusable. That's not high-level coaching. I mean, it's not how an NFL coach should be coaching. Kyler Murray is worth the contract he's getting. Overreaction. I got to see a lot more from him. Sunday was a nice comeback. I got to see him do that a lot more than what I saw Sunday. Totally overreaction. Call me up when he wins a playoff game. Then I'll talk. Same with Kingsbury, too. Call me then, okay? The Ravens can go deep into the playoffs with Lamar Jackson playing as well. Overreaction. I think there's some holes on that Ravens team. I just don't think they're going to go that deep into the playoffs this year. The Packers will be just fine. Define just fine. Do I think they're a playoff team? Yes. Do I think they could make it? Yes. That O-line needs to get fixed up. Got to get a little better weapons for Rodgers. I mean, I still think the Packers can win this division. Guys, I think this is a 3-team race between the Lions, Vikings, and Packers. I think the Packers, if all goes right, maybe the North gets 3 teams in the playoffs this year. I think the Packers will be fine in that regard. I still think they'll sneak into the playoffs. But, yeah, I think they'll be okay. Well, guys, that is it for my NFL college week 3 of college, week 2 of NFL recap. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for my weirdness, and please hit that subscribe button. May God bless you all and have a great night.